All right, guys, Rapsodo just launched another exciting update for the MLM2 Pro. And given the fact that we live in a world now with really high turnover in tech, with things like Apple releasing a brand new iPhone every single year, it's actually really refreshing to see a company making an existing product better rather than tempting us to buy new hardware every year. And over the past few years, we've seen Rapsodo regularly rolling out these steady updates that we've covered here on the channel. But most importantly, these updates directly address the features that users are asking for. So let's fire up the projector, hit the lights, and dive right into this latest update. All right, so importantly, this update is live. It's not in beta. So if you already own a Rapsodo MLM2 Pro, you can update your app and take advantage of all these new features immediately. And the first one I want to show you guys that I'm also the most excited about is a brand new closest to the pin feature. After you update your app, you can find closest to the pin right in your menu. And this is one that I've seen on discussion boards in the comments that people have been asking for a while. And it functions just like you'd expect it would, with a couple of surprises. The first one is that you can play on any of the thousands of golf courses that are already loaded into the Rapsodo app. You can also select to play either on a single hole or multiple holes. And importantly, because most of us, as you can imagine, like to play closest to the pin with our buddies, you can now play from anywhere from 1 up to 5 players. And as you can see in the setup, there are a lot of different scoring options. So you can mix up and vary your competitions in a number of different ways. And on top of that, you can even select the number of shots that each player will get. And in the past, if we wanted to do any type of closest to the pin with Rapsodo, we had to make our own kind of makeshift competition by just selecting a hole and playing the tee shot. But now what we have is a much more legitimate closest to the pin competition where the app keeps track of every shot, measures all of the distances, and even gives you a live leaderboard. So this is super addicting and fun, whether you're just playing by yourself and want to beat your own personal record, or you've got, like I said, up to 5 players competing for a little bit of bragging rights. Either way, it's really cool to see closest to the pin as now an additional function in the MLM2 Pro app. The next update, as you can see here, is with the range. And here they've done a complete graphic overhaul. And if I'm being honest, as much as I love the virtual golf and some of the other features in the MLM2 Pro, I'd say I spend about 80% of my time using the app working on either the range or the target range, which also got a big update, which I'll talk about in just a second. So it's good to see them focusing some of their attention here as well. And as we had before, you can see all of your ball and club data cleanly right on the screen. Recently, we talked about that big update where Rapsodo added club data to the MLM2 Pro, further evidence that they're taking this product and continually making it better. But now what you have is a very clean, very easy to use interface in the range. And I will say my favorite part about this is that it reacts even quicker than before. So there's very little lag time between hitting a shot and seeing the result on the screen. And then you can go from one shot to the next pretty quickly without waiting. So there's definitely been an improvement in how quickly the range reacts, which if you're hitting a lot of balls, you're definitely going to enjoy that feature as much as I do. And of course, you can either hit balls into a wide open range, or you can set targets at any distance, and the targets become a really great visual for practice hitting to certain spots. I like every once in a while to dial in a specific distance that I'm working on and try to hit towards that target. So overall, it's nice to see the range has been overhauled once again, and it seems to just keep getting better. And speaking of ranges, the target range has also gotten a new feature that a lot of us have been asking for, in that now you can set it to randomize your targets automatically. Here again, like with closest to the pin, you've got a lot of different options in how you can set this up. You can set a target range anywhere from 34 to 325 yards, and you can do anywhere from 1 to 8 shots per target. And what I like about this is that it forces you to hit different shots and really work your way through the bag, which is a much closer representation to what actually happens on the golf course versus kind of getting stuck and just hitting the same shot and the same club over and over again, which so many of us are guilty of doing. Here, the randomizer will force you not only to hit different distances, but to also work on your aim to different targets. And I will tell you from firsthand experience, some of those targets are tiny and they're hard to hit. So it really forces a little bit of pressure, and it really helps improve your accuracy, both with that distance control as well as hitting smaller targets. And another area that makes this really effective practice is that the Rapsodo is also storing every single shot you take in the background. So when you end your session on the target range, you're able to see a detailed breakdown of every single shot into every target, including things like your average proximity. And why this helps me so much is it gives me an idea of some of the different ranges or areas or gaps in my bag where I need the most work. So by randomizing the target, it's forcing me to hit shots that I might not otherwise hit when I'm just beating balls on the range. And then afterwards, I can see which distances and which targets I had the most trouble hitting, and then I can put the most practice time into those areas, which is really effective in making you a better golfer. And with all that said, of course, we do also have to address the elephant in the room, which is the fact that in order to take full advantage of all of these new features, you do have to have a premium subscription. The good news, though, is that Rapsodo has also announced that it's rolled out a couple new pricing options when it comes to those subscriptions, including a new 2-year membership option for $329. And I think what can make us all feel a little bit better about any of these longer term investments is this fact that we've been talking about, how Rapsodo continues to invest in the MLM2 Pro, continuing to make it better over time. And if you are a premium member, you instantly get access to all of those new features. So rather than worrying about new hardware and replacements, you know that you can commit to getting a device like this, get that longer term subscription, which will save you a little bit over paying for it year over year, and know that you're going to continue to get new features. So these are some exciting new features that came out in this one. I really love that closest to the pin. I know that's one that we're going to use here in the office quite a bit for some bragging rights, but you guys let me know your own thoughts about this update, as well as any questions you have down in the comments below. Thank you as always for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.